The influx of plastics into our environment has reached crisis levels all over the world, and this is evident through the pollution of our beaches, seas, and the environment.
It's an issue that has received global attention, and the rationale behind the EPA funding this drive to have a visual representation of what we are doing to our environment is to start a national dialogue to see what we want to do as a country, as a people, what part we want to play in that global dialogue that has started. This started a year ago in Kenya, where at a meeting of UNEA, that's the United Nations Environmental Assembly, there was an agreement that some instrument, some internationally binding instrument be agreed upon internationally to end plastic pollution. So I just wanted to kind of throw some light as to why we really need to handle this problem. There are estimates that if nothing is done at the current trajectory, by 2050 we're going to have more plastics by weight in the oceans than fish. And to me and to most other people around the world, that's a scary prospect. So we have a serious problem on our hands. As you can see, this is 4 days of effort in Freetown, and this was replicated across all provincial towns where the EPA has a presence. So this shows visually that we have a serious issue on our hands in Freetown and in Sierra Leone. Let's look at what plastic does to Sierra Leone. Now we have the rains, the rainy season. Whenever it rains, we get flash flooding. This never used to happen in Freetown, at least when I was growing up or when I was at university. This was never the case. Of course, deforestation of our hills has contributed to that. But plastics, by and large, has clogged our waterways, our gutters. And, we are all guilty of this. Everybody sitting here, and I'm happy that we have a lot of school children here. But people just drink sachets of water and they just throw it, everywhere. It's everywhere. The scourge is everywhere. Our beaches are dirty. And so as a people, we need to have this conversation.
A day like this requires us to have a call, for action. And more so, when I see students, I see a lot of, people who on a day-to-day basis are affected by plastic pollution. We walk in the streets, we see plastic everywhere. We go to our schools, the school compound, our health clinics, you name it, across the board, even in our homes, we see all of that. So it is a very practical problem, and it's a problem we can solve. And that's why I like the theme that says beat plastic pollution. I like it because I know we can do it. I'm into the behavioral sciences. We do a lot of communication that promotes behavior change. And so therefore, I do think, and I always say this, change happens at the individual level first. It starts with me. It starts with you. If we are to clean Freetown and clean our waterways and clean our coastal waters from plastic pollution, it starts with you. And so therefore, you need to have an action as an individual, that you can take to contribute to cleaning our environment from plastic waste. This day is meant for us to get some level of awareness about the problem. And a lot has been said about the problem. And we know the problem. We are in it. We are taking steps on a day-to-day basis to solve the problem. So it's important for us to take that action, right from our homes, from our schools, from the places where we work, from the markets, to start cleaning that environment from plastic waste. Our role as a partner, which is funded by USAID, is to work with the One Health sector. And the One Health sector is of the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Ministry of Environment and EPA. So we work with them, we provide the necessary support, technically, financially, to make sure the goals, the objectives of those sectors in terms of development programs are achieved in Sierra Leone.
The 2019 EU Directive on the reduction of the impact of certain plastic products on the environment is an important legislative step taken within the EU. On the international agenda, and the Executive Chairman mentioned it already, the adoption of a legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution is a key priority of the EU's Circular Economy Action Plan and under the European Green Deal. And progress was made last week in Paris. The second session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee to develop an international legally binding instrument on plastic pollution concluded with a mandate to prepare a zero draft ahead of the next session in Nairobi in November. Keep watching. This is an encouraging sign of multilateralism at work. We are in this together. We have to act fast, and everybody must be on board, or the ship will sink. Thank you once more, school children, students, tricycle riders, all those who have collected waste. Thank you so much for your good work, and please carry the message.
I will encourage students to go back and look at some of the harmful effects of plastics so that you can educate your parents to say how we can all solve this problem. Our beaches drive tourists away. For example, we could be benefiting from tourism. We've got lovely beaches, but they are dirty. Even if you clean today, if you come tomorrow, the beach is dirty. And it's because of us. People throw garbage when it's raining, especially when it's raining. They don't take garbage from the houses and throw it in the waterway. Ends up in the sea and ends up on the beach. So we really need this national debate to see how together, and I mean together as a nation, we can do our little bit in the global community.
Now you right, it's not me right for make we see this country clean. Oh. Now you right, it's not me right for make we see this country clean. We are not to wear dots in a street, oh, good, fine. Not to wear dots in a gutter, good,